Well, I was walking down Vauxhall the other day when I saw this big warehouse near the bus depot emblazoned with the words self-storage. Well, naturally, I was quite fascinated by the idea of storing myself, although I couldn't quite understand what someone would want to do that for. And so I went over to the office to find out a bit more. Now, it was a right old shambles in there, let me tell you. There was a great big queue of people all waiting to speak to the same bloke. And when I said to the bloke at the back of the queue, "What are you waiting for?" He just turned round to me, all nonchalantly, and said, "You've got to wait here to find out." Well, I stood there for some time, let me tell you. And all that time I was standing there, wondering what the bloody hell I was doing, standing in this queue of all things. I got to thinking, about things. What things they were, I could not tell you, but I suppose they range from the question about why there have been so many fires recently, all the way to a potted analysis of Ingrid Bergman's performance in Hitchcock's self-derided masterpiece Under Capricorn. Now, all the while I was there, it had started to get dark, and indeed someone had started a fire in the yard of this warehouse, and there were men standing around silently. Now I could see this queue weren't going anywhere, so I thought I'd go ask one of these blokes why everyone was here. Well, this bloke, about 6 feet high, with a moustache and a grey fisherman's jumper, he just looks at me with no expression at all and says, "Why don't you fuck off?" But he said it in such a peculiar way, as though he really meant it as a question. Now, I started feeling a bit peculiar like. There were more blokes standing around the fire, none of them saying anything to anyone, just drinking whiskey from a communal bottle and looking straight into the fire. So I thought I'd just go back home. But as I turned around, some bloke was walking into the yard to join the queue. So all of a sudden, I just instinctively rushed back over to the queue so I could keep my place. Now, I thought maybe I'd ask him what he was waiting for, but I felt a bit funny asking the bloke behind me what I was waiting for. I mean, you'd feel a bit stupid, wouldn't you? So, I just waited instead. By 7 o'clock, it looked like most of the Vauxhall area was ablaze, and one of them packs of Alsatians came sniffing around the fire-damaged debris looking for scraps. But some of those scary blokes around the fire frightened them off with a pistol. Nah, I was starting to feel like maybe I wanted to go home, 'cause, well, this queue weren't moving at all, you know. But then I was thinking to myself, I can't leave the queue now. I'd look like a real idiot, waiting here all afternoon and evening, only to go home none the better off. So I stayed. I mean, it's a tricky position, isn't it? When you wonder how much longer you're gonna be standing around and waiting. Like, you keep guessing whether the time you waited is equidistant from the amount of time left to wait, and if past a certain point, whether it's impossible to leave the queue.